Welcome to the Mint Condition podcast. Today's going to be a little bit of an introduction of who we are, what you can expect, and you're going to be able to get to know the host, Brad, a little bit today. So speaking of that, I want to be able to introduce Brad Klemetson. Just a little introduction of who he is. Brad Klemetson graduated with a doctorate of physical therapy from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas in 2017. He's published research on several topics, with most prevalent being about balance and Parkinson's disease. Brad has spent most of his career treating neck pain, dizziness, headaches, and migraines. Being trained in dry needling and a variety of manual techniques, he helps reduce pain and speed up recovery process with his patients. Brad loves helping people understand how their body is meant to move and how movement can help the body heal and restore your ability to get back to mint condition. Brad enjoys learning new hobbies and being active outdoors. He has been married to his wife, Kenzie, for 14 years and has 4 beautiful kids. You usually find him having water fights or wrestling with them. Besides his family, Brad's passion is helping others and growing his business, Mint Physical Therapy. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you.
Who's the host of this podcast. We're just doing an
Today
intro.
You're the host, right?
Just for one episode, yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm excited to be able to get this podcast up and going because I think it's going to be super useful for people. But just to get a little bit of a background, so people have a good understanding of what we're doing, what can people expect from the podcast?
So on this podcast, our goal is to introduce the public to specialists in our area. So we're going to talk with lawyers, with doctors, with chiropractors, any specialists. We're hoping to even talk with people in like workers' comp agents or maybe the president of Work Comp Fund Utah, right, if he'll come out. We're hoping to talk to these specialists so that the public can get educated from these specialists, but also so that people realize that they're people too. They get to know them, they learn about them, they learn about their background, they can learn from their that they have answers to the questions that people have. And the other goal really is to get the information out there so people know when I'm in a car crash, when I get hurt at work, here's the steps I need to take, here's my rights, here's the options I have, because a lot of people get hurt because they don't know that they have options or they try to just do it on their own. And the reason that we have systems in place is to make it so people can recover, get back to work, and continue to live life in mint condition.
I love it. Yeah, and I think, especially before I came into this job, there was so much that I didn't know or realize that is just such important, useful information that, no one really teaches you unless you actually go out and find it or work within this field. So I think that's super important. What do you hope people are able to take away from listening to this podcast?
I'm hoping that they'll take action, that they're going to take away that there are specialists out there with answers, that lawyers aren't as scary as you think they are, or medical doctors who have to see 20 patients an hour seem to ignore you. There are doctors out there who have the time, will give you the time, educate you. I hope people take action and do something with the information.
Love it. So what got you into physical therapy in the first place? Why did you choose this path?
That's a good question. It's a little bit of a story. Is that okay?
Yeah. So that's why we have a podcast.
Nice. So I was actually studying to be an architect. So I won first place in 3D and 2D design for Utah. Went to nationals, competed there, and I was studying at UVU to be a business construction manager and then an architect from there. And I took a class that was not great and showed me that I actually didn't want to do that. I think I would have been fine if I was in a different situation, but at the same time I was playing soccer and tore my ACL. I suffered with it for several weeks. I was a young college kid. I didn't have insurance. It was a tough situation. I was like, I'm not paying to see anybody. I just limped around school. And then finally it was unbearable. And I went and saw an orthopedic surgeon. He told me it was torn, got me set up for surgery, all of the stuff. After surgery, I went to PT. I was blown away. I sat there on the table. I was like, you do this for your job? Like, you get paid to be here. And one of the techs, BYU student, he's yeah, what are you talking about? Of course I get paid to. I was like, this is a career. Like, you could do this. Blew me away. It was such a fun environment. So many fun toys and movement and exercise. I was hooked. I went and found a job to be a tech. I started applying to PT school and getting all the prerequisites. I was obsessed.
That's awesome. Yeah. One thing I've noticed is that you not only just like teach or try to help show people, but you actually put into practice the things that you preach, which is really cool.
I think that's super important for any professional.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I think this is going to be a great podcast just because it's going to give people the opportunity not only to learn more about what they can do, whether they're in an accident or they get hurt at work or they're just looking to be able to get back on track, but it's really just able to help them just get back in mint condition, get them back to life, living the life that they want to live. Just kind of, I feel like from your story, you were hurt while playing soccer with your ACL, and then you saw the difference that physical therapy can make, and I think that's really impactful. What's one thing you wish people would understand about physical therapy that is usually misunderstood?
There's a lot of things. I guess one of the biggest is we're not massage therapists. People think I'm going to go to PT and get massage and ultrasound and some heat or something. Physical therapists are movement science, like movement specialists. So anything when it comes to movement, which life is movement, then we're the specialist in that. We're doctors in that. We know how to assess any injury and figure out what's going on, what's causing it. We can order an MRI or X-ray if needed. We can help people get better quickly and avoid unnecessary surgery or medication when possible. That's what I wish people realized was PTs aren't just personal trainers, which a lot of people think we are.
No, yeah. I think we're going to break a lot of those misconceptions or misunderstandings through this podcast. So people are going to want to stick around. Last question, since this is just an intro episode to everything, what does it mean to be in mint condition to you?
Mint condition means, well, first you have to understand life is movement. If you're not moving, you're dead, right? And to be able to move, there's certain barriers. Some people don't move because it's hard, right? So I've spent a lot of time working with the geriatric population, and I'm too tired to move. So then you stay tired. But if you're too tired and you choose to move anyway, then you're going to be less tired, and you build that capacity. I mean, you're a runner, right?
Yeah.
When you go train for a marathon, you start by running 26 miles, right? No. You might start with
some people do
a mile 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then go to a mile 3 times a week, and one of those runs is 3 miles instead of 1, right? And you build up and you build that capacity. So that's what people need to understand about life. To be mint condition, what I love about that is that injuries make it so much harder to do that. Doing that can be tough anyway. But if people can come here, fix an injury, fix their movement patterns, right, and get back to mint condition where they're feeling great, they can succeed at movement.
I love that. Just because I think movement is such a huge thing, and I've talked to some of the physical therapists about this. Like, a lot of times people's injuries, I feel like they can be solved just by moving, getting up, working out, getting out there. And I think that's so helpful. So we're excited for people to come listen to the podcast. We're going to have episodes coming out here soon. Feel free to let us know who you'd want to be able to hear be on the podcast, or if you have someone that you'd recommend being on the podcast. But stay tuned for more episodes.
Yep. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.